Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Connor Brownrigg and I'm here to talk to you today about the cost of crime on campus and how AI-powered security can help you prevent it. A little bit about myself. Again, my name is Connor Brownrigg and I'm the Director of Business Development for Macnica Americas, who I'm sure most of you have not heard of before. Macnica is a fairly large Japanese company. We're roughly 5,000 employees based out of Yokohama, Japan. Our US headquarters is in San Diego. We're here representing our partner, Isotana AI, who is a pioneer in AI security detection software. It was founded in 2009 and is based in Perth, Australia. Macnica is a distributor of icetana in the Americas and around the world. To put the problem of crime on campus into perspective, I'd like to share a few statistics. These are from 2021 that break down the different kinds of campus crime that have been reported. 10,400 forcible sex offenses, which is 44% of all reported campus crime. It's very important to note that often this is unreported, and so the real figures are likely much higher. 6,500 burglaries, 3,500 motor vehicle thefts, 2,100 aggravated assaults, 500 robberies, and 400 arson incidents in the year 2021 alone. Clearly, the impact that crime has, whether it's the personal, emotional impact on victims, and then the financial impact on campuses when it comes to things like burglaries, property damage and such, is really a multi-million-dollar a year problem throughout the country. Now, what's changed since 2021? The big factor, protests that have happened in the last couple of years. I do want to say that the vast majority of these protests are peaceful and lawful and legitimate. However, not all of them are. And when they aren't, the damage that has happened to property is really astronomical. We don't have nationally compiled figures yet, but we do have specific examples that we can reference. For example, City College of New York, in one incident that spanned a day or two, they experienced over $3 million of property damage. Portland State University, $1.23 million. California State and University, Washington, each over $1 million. Stanford University, many others that we could reference are well into the six figures. The University of Toronto, over $500,000. I wanted to emphasize this to show that these protests and the damage that they're causing to campus is not just unique to the United States, but is happening around the world. I'd also like to emphasize that this is only property damage. This doesn't include the extra cost of security with Occupy movements. The University of California system, once you factor in all the extra security that was needed, the total bill came to $29 million, including property damage and all the extra guards that were needed across their 10 campuses. Point being, right now, this school year, there's a very real possibility that we will see a resurgence of large-scale protests and Occupy movements. Most of them will hopefully be peaceful and legitimate, but many of them may not be, and we need to be prepared for that. As campus security professionals, we don't always have the budgets, technology, and staff that we want to be able to do the job that we want to do. The problem that we can all say, and likely outside of campus security as well, is that budgets are often compressed. Staff is stretched thin, technology is outdated, and our job as security practitioners is to do the best that we can and make the most out of the resources that we can. And I want to talk to you today about a way that you can do that. Cameras. Cameras are the most underused resource in security, in my opinion, because the majority of them are reactive. The vast majority of security camera footage is never seen and certainly not monitored in real time. Cameras have served a purpose for investigations, looking back on past events, but their impact on proactive preventative measures when incidents are unfolding has historically been limited. Incidents happen on camera, but most of the time, no one is seeing them. Proactive video monitoring is one of the keys to prevention. A study from 2019 from Northeastern University showed that live video monitoring reduced crime by 15%. I want to emphasize this study was done before the rise of real-time AI that you see everywhere at this show. This was just the mere implementation of people monitoring cameras unassisted by AI. When live video monitoring was paired with complementary interventions, crime actually reduced by 34%. And this includes things like lights, talk down, dispatch. The more synchronized and the more interventions that were unified were together, the more effective they were and the more crime went down. Now the trouble with video monitoring is that it's very difficult to do. And I'll say a bold statement of the day: effective video monitoring is impossible without AI. Commonly cited statistic is that after 22 minutes, 95% of activity is missed. I speak from experience. I was a security guard for 5 years before transitioning into the world of security technology, and we're just not wired. I'm sure any one of us could agree that if you put a wall of monitors in front of us, we will not be able to pay attention for very long. We will get distracted, and it's very difficult. It's also very expensive to have enough people to monitor dozens, even hundreds of cameras. We've seen some remote guarding companies actually open SOCs overseas in the Philippines and India, where they have far more people monitoring the cameras. In campus security, I mean, there's obviously many issues with doing that, and that's not really something that is available to most campuses, and nor would most of them want to if they could. They'd rather keep things in-house. Video overload and false alarms with more rudimentary detection, like motion detection systems, overload operators, and they get distracted. Configuring cameras to detect, for example, locations that you want them to highlight alerts, times of day that you want them to detect and alert you. That is a very time-consuming activity, and that needs to be constantly updated and managed. So that's another difficulty that is done without AI or with rudimentary AI in video monitoring. What's really changed the game, and which you'll see all over today at the show, is real-time AI, which is what transforms cameras from reactive to proactive. The whole idea being that with real-time AI, they're not just looking back on the past incidents, but cameras are able to detect anomalies and threats as they unfold, so that guards are alerted and can act in real time without the impossible task of having to monitor hundreds of cameras or even dozens of cameras unassisted. AI is what bridges the gap between the cameras and the security officers, because AI doesn't get tired. AI can always watch and be that link between the two. But I always say that AI replaces tasks. It does not replace people. Real-time AI is nowhere close to being fully autonomous, where you don't need a human in the loop to validate the alarms that come. There's still many benign events or false events that come up. AI can't tell the difference, for example, between kids that are horse playing and play fighting and an actual fight. AI will often mistake things like water guns and Nerf guns with a real gun, and that's why that human involvement is still absolutely needed. I think this is a broader topic of AI and human, but it's not about one or the other, one replacing the other, but it's finding that ideal synergy of both. And in video monitoring and security, that is what's really important. To give you an example of what real-time AI looks at, I'll draw your attention to the photo on the left. As you can see, they have hundreds of cameras. I don't think many of us, I certainly would not be able to watch that screen for very long and then catch the one thing that happened for 5 seconds on that one screen out of the 100. On the right, this is an example of the same SOC after they implemented AI. And as you can see, the vast majority of the screens are black. And in this case, that's good news. That means nothing is happening. Once the event of interest actually that they should be paying attention to comes up, then it will come on the screen. Different companies manage this in different ways, but it's essentially the same idea. Now, to go back to the idea of unified coordinated security, a lot of campuses are using systems like Genetec Security Center, Axon Soft, Hexagon On Call, They're all here. I encourage you to go visit them. When you have AI in the video monitoring, it's not just elevating the video surveillance, it's actually elevating and making the entire system more effective, because you can automate events that are detected by AI in the cameras to other actions. For example, lights turning on, talk down happening, doors closing and doors locking. And so the AI from the cameras is making the entire coordinated system far more effective. Aside from security, what AI and cameras can do is all kinds of other analytics. For example, detecting how many people are coming and going, how many vehicles are coming and going, the directions that they're moving in. We're really seeing the convergence between security and smart building and smart site management. A lot of cities use tools like this. Campuses can use tools like this. But the applications include better traffic management, the flow of people, the flow of cars, better crowd management and event planning. If you're talking a commercial property, then they can know where the busy parts of the mall, where the slower parts of the mall, where do they need more security, or where can they charge rent according to the busyness of the sites. Finally, the ROI of AI in campus security. Of course, like any investment in security, the goal is prevention, to prevent costly incidents. We saw earlier just how costly some of these incidents, which were likely more than the entire security budgets of the school for the entire year. Protecting reputation. There's clearly a direct link between security and safety on campus and the reputation of the campus. Investing in security, having a safe site. Every parent wants to know that their child is going to a safe campus, and that will really help the reputation, just as a lot of security incidents can very quickly erode a campus's reputation. Liability. We're seeing lawsuits that are essentially, the campus failed to protect me, and campuses are actually shelling out money for these lawsuits. And one of the ways that actually reduces liability is to be able to show that a campus has invested into security. We obviously can't stop every event, but just to show that we have invested and made changes and made changes, then we can reduce our liability. And of course, insurance premiums, as there are many property damage incidents, insurance premiums will go up, and with preventing them with security, insurance premiums can go down. Operational costs. Having monitoring more cameras with less officers saves money, but it also frees officers up for other tasks where they can do investigations, patrol, be visible on campus, and boost security in other ways. It maximizes existing infrastructure. If you guys go around to most of the AI companies that are out there today, most of them will tell you that they can connect with just about any IP camera. It's usually possible for AI companies to run their software just by getting access to the video stream, whether it's through the integration with the video management software or even directly with the camera. My final slide, I'll just say a couple of words about Isotana AI, who I'm with, and what's unique about us. What makes Isotana stand out from other AI companies is that our AI is self-learning. Existing cameras that connect to us will automatically learn their environment. It takes roughly a week, and then they will be able to detect once unusual events happen. When people are going to locations that people are not normally found at, vehicles that are going to locations, crowds forming, time of day where we don't normally find people. It's an anomaly-based system. It's self-configuring, meaning that you don't have to set all the different parameters of every camera. It all happens automatically through the learning period. And it's self-improving. So the longer Isotana runs, the more it recognizes the normal activity pattern and the more accurate it becomes. What's really interesting with campuses, especially those that have busy and slow times like the summer, is that the system will continuously adapt. Once the summertime comes and things slow down, the system will learn the new pattern of behavior and adapt. And then when it gets busy again in September, then the system will learn the new pattern again and adapt again. So it's continuously improving and adapting. That's it from me, so thank you very much, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to take them.